so I don't know.
No, we've all had
Your keep is
basically.
no more.
I think we've all had our
The
own
night
ideas on what
comes.
needs to be done in this game, and so we were all trying to do
Kill the
different things.
shadows and claim their secrets.
I don't know. All the game we've played, we always screwed up the early game.
I really don't know what to do.
Shouldn't. Oh, the early game is all about experience, so should keep playing at all costs.
I really didn't know what to do there. They
Oh,
had just too much. They had too much healing. They had a lot of healing, and we couldn't do anything to that healing.
yeah, true.
And like what was also said, we didn't have superiority on that bottom game. We let Zimmer to go top on their own soloing. That was a bad idea. We had go on.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Then I'll say my point since I was watching the stream and I got a different perspective. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, Zimmer started top, and that was no good.
Well, there were.
And we
Three
didn't
of them
really.
were
We didn't
rank
really.
1.
Yeah. Well, 3 of them were rank 1.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
One
So that
free and whatever 30.
So that makes me feel a little bit better. I feel like they're just doing. They're just creating. They're probably just creating a team all the time, unless they've only just all started. But they can't have only just started. Seems a bit weird. That. Yeah, our setup was well. Don't know. Go on, Arch. What do you think we did?
Well, first off, yeah, you let Zim handle the first, I think, 2 minutes of the game so on top lane, and that wasn't the best choice. But it wasn't that bad. The bigger problem, the moment when everything started to fall apart, was when the first night came and the seeds spawned, because all of us, all of the team, well, you all just want seeds, and that in itself wasn't a bad idea. The problem is they left both Lili and Kyothos to push top lane, and despite that, you guys still came behind on seeds since they got the turret the first night. We didn't. So, basically, they had 2 people soaking, 3 people doing seeds. We had technically 5 people doing seeds, but we didn't get more seeds than them. And not only did we fall behind on XP from lane experience, but then they pushed me too. Team fighting wasn't really bad. The main issue was you didn't have any burst damage to actually kill them before Rhaegar could cast Ancestral Healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I found actually was not reacting fast enough either.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was because you thought what I was saying was a bad idea or what. But it was like, especially when night came, instead of disengaging and going straight to seeds, we were all still floundering around in lane because the opponents were staying in lane. And I think it must have been it, because I certainly thought it. I thought, oh well, hold on, because they're staying in lane, so I need to stay in lane, otherwise I'm going to push the lane. So I was torn between trying to go for seeds and going for that. And I think Zimmer was the same at the top, because the top 2 champions in the top lane, they weren't going for seeds either. So I think we need to be a bit more dedicated on what we do when we do objectives. I mean, if our game plan is just to stay in lane when an objective spawns, okay, that's one idea. I don't think that's a particularly good idea, but that is one, because that's what they did there. They stayed in lane because they could sustain in lane to stay in. And then basically the wait until we burnt ourselves out on land and then got the seats. That's how I took what happened.
Yeah, basically they did just as well as you guys on seeds, but with fewer people, whereas 2 people just pushed that lane and soaked up loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We really needed to, I think, on that point, we should have just sacrificed the lanes. I know it was still early game, but we should have just sacrificed the lanes, let them do whatever they wanted to do, and just got all the seeds. If we'd have got the majority of the seeds there and got that first terror, I think we would have been in a much better position. We could have pushed harder in that early game. So let's try that again and keep that in mind this time. Let's see. Toxic, if you come out stand, mate, and let Archie. that's okay. Oh wait, you've got the stream on, haven't you?
Excuse me?
Stream up.
Has anybody else got stream?
I'm streaming right now.
And Toxic.
Oh, do
And-
and Toxic.
And
Right.
I
I've-
think Zimmer's streaming too.
I didn't heard what you said.
Right, Toxic. I'm gonna drop you out of this fight and put Arch in.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Right, okay. I'm gonna try a game with Arch. And then what I'll do, and then the game after this, I'll drop out and I'll put you back in Toxic. We'll see how that goes.
What? Well, I need to do quests anyway, so...
Yeah, go ahead, go do a quest quickly. Hopefully this next game will go a little bit better. Zimmer, are you okay, guys?
Yeah.
Just waiting for you to go then. Zimmer, take a breather.
Not sure what Zim's doing.
Must have found the little something. I'll give him a second.
He should be around here.
Channel switched.
So, does anybody else want a shot call for this game? 'Cause I didn't do a particularly great job.
Sound resumed.
Okay. Right, guys, I'm going to try and do a little bit better about calling out champions and heroes and things like that. But let's try and stick to whatever I call, even if it sounds dumb. Because I probably did make quite a few dumb calls there, and I didn't get listened to because of the dumb calls, I think. And so you were going for different people. And that was another problem. We were all going for different targets there. Team fights. In fact, team fighting in general is just now a strong point. I feel like we'd be much, much better off going for sort of like a lane pushing kind of team composition and just avoiding team fights and just start, going for PvE objectives.
Zim, you hear me?
Right, I don't know what's happened to Zimmer.
Yeah, I'm here.
So Toxic, you're back in. Oh,
Okay.
Can you maybe? Oh, right, he's here.
Yeah.
You all right, Zimmer?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
No, it's
go
okay.
ahead. We're all here. These came back. How do you feel that went, Zimmer? Anyway, 'cause you've been a bit quiet.
Zim's always quiet. He never talks. He just focuses on the game. Now that the game's going really well, Zim doesn't really say much.
Well, on the flip side, we've got 3 wins, 3 losses. So, as long as we win the next game, we're still on a positive.
Yeah.
User joined your channel.
Bam. Warte, ich muss noch kurz ins Stream.
Bam.
Du hast dich ohne mich angemeldet. Das habe ich eben genau gesehen.
Du bist nicht in-game.
Ja, weil ich den guten Vorsatz hatte, jetzt noch was für die Uni zu machen.
Außerdem hab ich ja gerade gesagt, ich frage nicht mehr.
Yeah, it looks a bit better now.
I like
Um,
the old one.
Ja,
Ja.
streamst du jetzt noch mit Sound? Ich hoffe
Yeah, I
nicht, oder?
think I like the
Doch.
old one too.
Now you can't see the
Dann werde ich
old
dir das jetzt
others.
bestimmt nicht erzählen. Obwohl, bin ich noch alleine mit dir? Ich glaube, ich bin alleine mit dir, ne?
Ja, ist gerade niemand im Channel.
Okay, we've got first pick, guys.
Yeah,
And
blind
it's
lily.
Black Hearts Bay. What are we gonna
Jetzt werde ich
pick?
jetzt mal gestupst, weil ich es lustig finde.
They're probably gonna go Lily. Should we go Lily?
Warte mal kurz.
Alright.
Yep.
Okay. Right, so we're gonna go dual tank again like last time.
Okay, Toxic.
Sound muted.
Mal eben schnell im anderen Teamspeak muten.
Ja, kein Stress, ich würde es nicht nerven. spielst jetzt Blightwing, ne?
Lightning? Nein, ich bin Murky.
Battle commencing in 10
Okay, das heißt,
seconds.
ich habe das eben nur so gesehen, dass du noch in der Charakter warst.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nee, was ich eigentlich bis heute.
Fight well, heroes.
Es stimmt, du hast ja Witcher gespielt. Das ist mir dann auch gerade eingefallen, als ich es geschrieben hatte. Das war nicht irgendwie beabsichtigt, dass ich sage, ja, nee. Du kannst jederzeit sagen, wenn du da bist und wenn du Zeit hast und wir können noch spielen.
Nee, mache ich jetzt nicht mehr. Jetzt bin ich beleidigt.
Okay. Nee, ich habe den TS nur gemutet, weil ich dieses Trash-Talking nicht mag. Das ist so, weiß ich nicht, fand ich ein bisschen unangenehm, da so zuzuhören, weil wenn das so dazu tendiert, dass die so miteinander reden, ja, als wären die halt irgendwie alleine. Da geht bei mir immer das Fremdschämen los und irgendwann mache ich dann einfach aus.
Ah, kenn ich.
Also ich wollte dich nicht ignorieren, ich habe es einfach ausgemacht, weil, wie gesagt, ich mochte nicht, was da geredet wurde. Und
Ausrede.
jetzt habt ihr ihn getötet und jetzt läuft er weg.
Ausrede.
Ja,
Unleash its
absolut.
power.
Und Scheiß, gerade heute hätten wir wunderbar spielen können, weil Ero mich total versetzt und ja. Aber ich spiele halt nicht so gerne gegen Spieler, weil ich dafür zu schlecht bin.
Power is yours.
Ja, aber so wirst du nie besser.
Danke.
Well done.
Aber
Nee, wenn du nur gegen Bot spielst, wirst du halt nie besser.
ich weiß, aber es ist so frustrierend, weißt du, wenn du da mit den Leuten anmeldest und totale Vollidioten drin hast, die sich einfach nicht dafür interessieren, was da passiert. Das ist schon irgendwie...
Deswegen spiele ich auch mit einem vollen Team.
Ja, ich weiß, bloß dann wirst du ja gegen andere volle Teams gematcht und nicht sterben.
Das ist ein Murky. Das gehört zur Spielmechanik.
Das Sterben?
Ja.
Okay. Ich habe ja nie gespielt. Ich hatte nur irgendwas kleines, Drachiges gesehen, deswegen dachte ich, das ist Blightwing. Den ich jetzt übrigens gespielt habe und... Oder sie? Ist das eine sie?
Das ist eine Sie.
Ja, ich finde sie ein bisschen schwierig und irgendwie nicht so heilig. Heilig. Ja,
Unser Tank wird gerade von den Bots gehauen. Das finde ich lustig.
okay.
Der Bot hat gerade unseren Tank über den Zaun, also über die Mauer gehoben.
Oh nein.
Und er ist fast verreckt.
Ah ja. Das versuche ich auch mal kriegen. Das hat Mana mal mit mir gemacht, als wir alle in Koop gespielt haben. Und dann
Stimmt. Da war ich ja dabei.
So, war mir nämlich auch noch nicht bewusst, dass das geht. Aber der Headshot, der den Drachen hat, hätte eben noch die okay. Aber das ist jetzt random, dass sie keine von werden wollten, ne?
Nein. Wie gesagt, ich mache gerade eine Quest. Hab schnell einen Koop angemeldet.
Ja. Ich habe meine Quest heute schon fertig und irgendwie so alleine spielen ist ein bisschen langweilig.
Naja, fragst du nicht mal mich.
Choose a talent.
Wie gesagt, merke ich mir.
Ich weiß. Okay, das war aber ein Fail von mir, dass ich nicht gefragt habe, als du Witcher gespielt hast, oder wollte ich dich jetzt auch nicht nerven? Aber du kannst auch fragen, du fragst mich auch nie. Ja, weißt du, dann kann ich dich jetzt eigentlich total so entgegen anzicken, weil du mich auch nicht fragst. Denk mal drüber nach. Ich habe dich schon öfter gefragt, als du mich.
A killing blow.
Hast du?
Ja,
Stimmt nicht.
doch, ich habe dich schon mindestens 3-mal gefragt, also 3-mal, von denen ich weiß.
Ich glaube, ich bin jetzt beim 4. Mal.
Nee, das, was du machst, ist ja nicht fragen. Das, was du machst, ist,
The shrine
du spielst ohne mich, mi.
Das ist indirekt Fragen.
The dragon knight's power.
Pass auf, wenn du keine Frau bist, darfst du diese Logik nicht anwenden.